Have you ever noticed how the narcissist can discard someone like yesterday's news, only to return later, circling like a shadow that refuses to fade? They betray, they walk away, and yet somehow they can't release their grip. That pattern isn't random, it's spiritual hunger. The narcissist doesn't obsess over everyone. No, they become fixated on a very particular kind of soul, the one who carries light, strength, and resilience that can't be broken. The narcissist is magnetized by the person who loves deeply yet refuses to be destroyed. The one who sees worth clearly, both in others and within themselves. That brightness, that unshakable core, becomes the narcissist's greatest frustration and their greatest obsession. They crave control more than they crave love, and when they can't control someone, the memory of that resistance burns into them like fire on dry ground. Why does the narcissist cling to such people? Because they are haunted by authenticity. They are tormented by resilience. They are unsettled by true strength, the kind that doesn't bow, doesn't chase, doesn't crawl back. They obsess over the one who exposed their mask not with rage, but with truth spoken calmly and clearly. They can't let go of the soul that dared to walk away without looking back. Deep within, the narcissist knows they'll never replicate that kind of connection. That's why they watch from the shadows, why they compare every new source of supply to the one who walked away, why they keep names alive in the corners of their mind. It's not a curse to be remembered like this, it's confirmation. Confirmation that you were strong enough to stand, valuable enough to resist, and radiant enough to be unforgettable. The narcissist lives on control the way lungs live on air. Yet when they encounter someone unmovable, someone who refuses to bend beneath manipulation, something cracks inside them. What was supposed to be another conquest becomes a mirror. The uncontrollable spirit confronts them with their greatest fear, powerlessness. They test their usual tricks, flattery, charm, false promises, but when those arrows fall to the ground, they grow restless. The resistance doesn't push them away, it pulls them closer, deepening the obsession. This isn't arrogance. It isn't rebellion. It's authenticity. It's knowing who you are, standing on values that can't be purchased, and walking with confidence that doesn't require applause. That mystery unsettles the narcissist because they've spent their life chasing validation, piecing together an identity from scraps of other people's approval. To watch someone live without needing that approval is to witness a freedom they'll never taste. So their tactics escalate, criticism sharpens, sabotage begins, whispers rise against your name. But every attempt to fracture your spirit only confirms their lack of power. And nothing terrifies them more than the reminder that their reign of control has limits. This fixation isn't love, it's desperation. The narcissist obsesses over independence because it's what they secretly long for but can't cultivate. They ridicule authenticity, but secretly they hunger for it. They despise resilience, yet they ache to possess it. What they mock is what they crave. That is why they circle back, why they replay memories, why they compare every new face to the one who couldn't be broken. The true power rests not with a narcissist, but with the uncontrollable spirit. That strength doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to prove. It simply stands. And that quiet, immovable light is what the narcissist can't erase. While they wander endlessly, searching for power that slips through their fingers, you rise. You heal. You walk into freedom. And that freedom is the very thing they will spend the rest of their lives trying and failing to capture. There is a kind of power that doesn't come from wealth, fame, or position. It's a power that rises quietly, almost unnoticed, yet it unsettles everything in its path. Authentic power, the kind that doesn't need applause to exist, the kind that walks into a room and commands respect without saying a word. When someone carries this kind of strength, the narcissist feels it like a sharp wind cutting through their empty shell. For a life built on performance and validation, the presence of someone who needs neither is unbearable. Instead of moving on, the narcissist becomes fixated, desperate to copy, control, or even destroy what can never be theirs. The truth is, authentic power can't be stolen. It can't be siphoned away like energy from a battery. It has to be born from within, from wounds faced and scars transformed. The narcissist avoids that path at all costs. Growth requires humility, and humility is foreign to them. So they circle endlessly around those who carry the light, obsessing long after the relationship is over, unable to fill the void inside. Nothing strikes deeper than when someone walks away, not out of fear, but out of dignity. Not because they were weak, but because they knew their worth. That moment cuts sharper than any insult. For the narcissist, relationships aren't built on love. They're built on control, possession, and endless supply. To lose someone by choice is to lose their imagined power. The wound of abandonment becomes an obsession because it carries the one truth they can't bear. They never owned you in the first place. In the world of a narcissist, everyone is expected to revolve like planets around their sun. They dictate who rises, who falls, who stays, and who leaves. But when someone breaks orbit and chooses freedom, the narcissist spirals. They tell themselves stories. You'll return. You're insignificant. It was their choice to discard you. Yet the gnawing reality is that you walked away with strength, not weakness. That act alone becomes the thorn in their mind, the wound that never heals. Walking away sends a message no words could ever carry. I will not be controlled. It breaks the endless cycle of flattery and cruelty, the push and pull that keeps so many trapped. Most get caught in the snare, unable to escape the pendulum swings. But when you stand, when you refuse to play the game, the illusion shatters. And the narcissist obsesses, not out of love, but because they've lost a battle they thought they could never lose. What haunts them isn't just your absence, it's how you left. You didn't beg. You didn't plead. You didn't crumble. You chose peace over chaos, wholeness over scraps. The narcissist can replace you with dozens, but replacements never soothe the sting of the one who walked away on their own terms. That image lingers. That dignity haunts them. So they stalk, they linger, they circle back under the disguise of reconciliation. But reconciliation isn't what they want. They want the strings back in their hands, proof that you weren't as strong as you seemed. And when you don't bend, their fixation deepens. They're haunted not by who you were to them, but by what you revealed. You can thrive without them. That is the ultimate blow to their ego. The narcissist has spent their life building masks, carefully crafted illusions of superiority and perfection. Every boast, every staged smile, every inflated story, all designed to protect the fragile self hiding underneath. But some people, without raising their voice, see right through. They aren't dazzled by the performance. They become mirrors. And in those mirrors, the narcissist is forced to face what they dread the most, reality. It doesn't always take confrontation to expose the truth. Sometimes it's in calmness, in refusing to be provoked, in standing steady when manipulation fails. That quiet strength leaves the narcissist shaken because they're used to reactions, to emotional chaos that keeps them feeling powerful. When someone refuses to play the game, the narcissist feels small, powerless, ordinary. And instead of letting go, they fixate on the one who refused to break. Being a mirror doesn't always mean calling them out. It can be subtle. A partner who notices the contradictions, a friend who doesn't buy the lies, a colleague who isn't impressed by the mask. This quiet resistance rattles the narcissist more than public exposure because it chips away at the fantasy they work so hard to preserve. They become obsessed, desperate to prove that mirror wrong, desperate to win back the admiration that can't be restored. Once someone has seen behind the mask, the narcissist knows they can never be fully admired again. That truth becomes unbearable. Conversations replay in their minds. Plots of revenge are woven. They twist situations to make the mirror seem like the problem. But beneath it all is fear. Fear of being ordinary, fear of being exposed, fear of losing control. The irony is that the narcissist works harder to regain control over the one who sees the truth than to keep those who worship blindly. They can discard admirers without blinking, but the mirror who walks away remains like a thorn in the flesh. No matter how many times they circle back, no matter how many masks they wear, the truth can't be erased. That mirror is unforgettable, not because of love, but because of fear. And what torments them most is not just the loss itself, but the standard you set. You gave generously, yet carried yourself with dignity. You loved deeply, yet knew your worth. You showed them a glimpse of what real connection feels like. Once that bar is set, every new supply feels hollow. They can force attention, they can manipulate affection, but they can't fabricate authentic love. They can't duplicate kindness that springs from wholeness. They can't recreate connection that is real. And so they chase shadows, forever comparing, forever haunted, forever obsessed. There comes a point when the standard is set so high, the narcissist spends a lifetime trying to match it, yet never can. At first, they parade the new partner as if they've upgraded, as if they've found someone better. They boast, they perform, they convince themselves that what they lost wasn't valuable. But deep in the quiet moments, when the noise of performance fades, they are haunted. A smile, a phrase, a gesture, anything that resembles what once was, triggers the memory of the one who left a mark they can't erase. And that memory unsettles them like no other. Your worth is undeniable, even in the eyes of a narcissist. They may tell stories to smear your name. They may whisper to others that you were the problem. They may even build lies to convince themselves you were flawed. But when the curtain falls and they are left alone, truth rises to the surface. They know you carried something real into their life. They know they didn't deserve it. They know they will never find it again. That realization doesn't fade, it festers. And instead of healing, they obsess. They may not admit it. Rarely will a narcissist confess to loss because confession feels like weakness. Instead, they carry their obsession in silence. They watch from the shadows. They keep tabs on your life, looking for signs of whether you've dimmed or whether you're shining brighter than ever. Every sign of your growth, every glimpse of your resilience, only deepens their torment. For it confirms one thing they hate to acknowledge: they lost something irreplaceable. The narcissist obsesses because you became a living reminder of what authenticity, respect, and true love look like. They can discard dozens, but they can't forget the one who revealed what real connection feels like. And nothing unsettles them more than watching freedom unfold before their eyes. The narcissist builds a world where control is king. They want those they wound to believe life without them is barren, broken, hopeless. They want to be the source of joy, the gatekeeper of worth. But when someone breaks free, when you heal, when you rise, when you live fully, their entire delusion collapses. Your freedom becomes the evidence that they never had the power they claimed. This is why they watch, why they circle back, why they linger at the edges of your story. They are desperate to find proof that you're struggling, that their absence left you weak. They check for cracks, they dig for failures. But what devastates them most is seeing you radiant. Every smile, every success, every step into peace echoes a truth they cannot bear. You are free. That freedom is the mirror they dread most, because it reflects their chains. They are bound to cycles of envy, control, and emptiness. They wear masks to cover their wounds, but those masks are prisons of their own making. And when they see someone escape, when they watch you walk in authenticity, it's proof that another life is possible. A life they refuse to embrace. That proof haunts them. The irony is tragic. The more you rise, the more they fixate. They may whisper that your success isn't real. They may try to pull you back into their web. But underneath the denial, the obsession grows. Because you did what they never could. You broke free, and you thrived. And here lies the final truth. Their fixation is their prison. Your healing is your victory. They stay chained to obsession, but you walk liberated. They cling to illusions, but you embody reality. You become the living testimony that freedom is not only possible, but unstoppable. And nothing torments the narcissist more than knowing you achieved it all without them.